BG3 Teeps! Alright, promised Druid stuff, and now we're getting to the Druid stuff. I haven't played a ton of Druids in real D&D or in Baldur's Gate, but I've been trying to lately, and it's been very fun and interesting. They just have a lot of kind of weird, quirky things that they don't really write on the box for Druid. So right now I have Jaheira and also Laezel as different Druid combos. Uh, Different levels of fighter and spore druid, kind of focusing on different things. For Jaheira, it's 5 levels of fighter and 6 levels of spore druid. I just have them at 11 now. I would say go 7 levels of spore druid when you get to 12. But yeah, torches. You can get them pretty much anywhere, but they are technically light clubs, so the Shillelagh spell will work on them. They also do native fire damage, so you'll just be doing 1d4 extra fire without having to dip your weapon or having it be some enchanted Everflame blade or something like that. So right now you can cast Shillelagh out, and now your torch is doing the fire damage. It's doing the extra necrotic from being Spore with symbiotic entity up, and it also keys off of Wisdom now. So it doesn't matter that you have a bad strength. Your spellcasting modifier is what you're going to hit people with. You can also switch your weapons hand-wise and cast Shillelagh again, and now you have 2 Shillelagh weapons, one in each hand, before going into a big battle. The other weapon that I equipped is one that you can get in Act 2 from beating the Shambling Mound. It's the Ironwood Club. Now, it doesn't really say it anywhere, but this club, when it is hit with Shillelagh, does 1d4 extra bludgeoning damage. I don't know, it just does. It looks cool, and it's tree branchy, so makes sense. I can vibe with it, but yeah, it's a bit odd. Just really good though. It's an excellent thing to pair with. It's doing an extra 1d4 native damage, just like your torch. So now that's keying off of wisdom. It's even better. As far as equipment goes, right now I have it as different things for damage reduction, kind of a regenerator build here, to make the symbiotic entity last as long as possible. Kethric's armor has the damage reduction, which is excellent, taking less of your temp HP away. The Revivify gloves, whenever you heal a creature, they get Blade Ward, resistance to bludgeoning, piercing, and slashing damage. You're going to be healing each round with this build, so you're just going to have this for the whole fight. The Broodmother's Revenge in Act 1. Whenever you get healed, add extra poison damage. This is healing you at the beginning of every turn, and this is making you blessed every time you get healed. So this whole fight, you're going to be blade warded and blessed permanently, and your weapons are permanently going to be coated in poison. And it's funny because that's not even the best item on this kit. As far as the upper body stuff, I have the Helmet of Arcane Acuity. I just like it when Halo of Spores lands. It's a Constitution save, and so many things are amazing at Constitution saves in this game. So yeah, it's just stuff to boost your DC for that. The real kicker, the real sleeper hit item here, is our boots. That's what's going to pull this whole thing together. But Halo of Spores you get to do every round, so it is very nice to have. Yeah, equipped with your 2 different clubs. I like 2 by weapon fighting. This is the Boots of Aiden Comfort. You get this in Act 1 from the Goblin Camp. And it's pretty simple. Just does 3 temp HP, whenever you're healing. Awesome on, your big cleric who's throwing out healing to everyone if you have minions or other stuff. But something very interesting happens with this in Spore Druid's symbiotic entity. So we can see right now that Jaheira has taken 4 points of damage from Shovel. Always happy to help. But here, you can usually not stack or replenish sources of temp HP. For some reason, the Boots of Aiden Comfort work with Symbiotic Entity. They don't work with Armor of Agathis or False Life or anything else. But when you heal here, you're going to gain 3 temp hit points. But they're going to replenish your bigger pool. So now you've got 23 instead of 20. This is fantastic, considering they're going to be healing every round, maybe more than every round. It just means they're actually going to be regaining lots of their temp hit points without having to take a short rest or use another charge. Fantastic item, top tier, love that thing. It doesn't seem to work with anything else, but if anyone finds a different source it works with, that would be great. Let me know. The Laezel build that I have here too is just it's more damage focused, but she's a natural strength build. Stuff like Skin Gorger will give her Force Conduit. She has on the Adamantine Splint Armor, which does damage reduction of 2. And she has Heavy Armor Master, which takes down non-magical bludgeoning, piercing, slashing by 3, I think. So most guards or people not using magical weapons, it'll just reduce it. For Jaheira, I have her as 5 levels of fighter and 6 of druid. I focus more fightery stuff with Laezel, taking 6 levels for more feats. But still keeping a pretty sizable symbiotic entity with 20. She's a natural strength build using the Everlasting Vigor Elixir you get in Act 2. So she has just a permanent +2 to strength. So she starts with 17, adds to 19, and then Heavy Armor Master brings it up to 20. But yeah, these are just 2 different builds for these 2, but druids are like they're just pretty excellent. They're overlooked, but very powerful. Another one, before you get into Act 2 and you grab the Ironwood Club, the Club of Hill Giant Strength is excellent from the Arcane Tower in Act 1. It makes your strength 19, so you'll have a +4 modifier if you want for shoving or jumping. But it also still works with Shillelagh. Since your wisdom's better, it's still getting improved, but you have just a much better stat spread now. But yeah. Now you're able to just bash people with these torches and broken chair legs like they were full-blown weapons. There's also other items I have here. There's shields that help out with Shillelagh. The diadem that adds your wisdom to your melee hits with arcane synergy, or the one that adds, the circlet of bones for all of the different spore zombies you can make. This build trades on having lots of adds that are taking hits and time to regenerate, but it's very powerful altogether. Yeah. Overall, I'd say this is a very tight build to put together. Can take down lots of big threats even without a team backing it up. But yeah, beyond that, that's some quirky Teeps. I'm probably going to show a little bit of footage of these guys beating up on these guards, so it'll be fast. Enjoy. Bye. All right. So I kicked this off with the Intellect Devour thing on Steel Watchers. Check out my video for it. It's awesome. I also apply the Shillelagh to both of Jaheira's weapons, and I have them both pop potions of Universal Resist, just to make this a whole heaping lot of temp HP that they keep. Really show off the durability of these guys. But yeah, so you start with the murder, go into this. I should warn too, there's an invisible person in this fight. I don't know why they're invisible, but they certainly are, and it does some weird frame cuts, but it's fine, I guess. So as we can see here, Jaheira's taken some damage, but then immediately gets her temp HP back. She's coated her weapons, and now she's back up to 24. So now that she's got all of her Shillelagh and everything set up on her weapons, she's doing a big color spread of damage. Something like Savage the Hacker would be great for this if you were re-rolling weapon damage. But yeah, a spread of poison, necrotic, fire, bludgeoning. Not the best on Steel Watchers, but very effective on people. Yeah, moving into things, I made a fungal zombie out of one of the corpses, just take some hits for Jaheira. Because, yeah, these classes don't, as I learned taking this video, handle being focused on solely the most. But they work excellent at team composition. The Inviso Cleric strikes again, making this fight definitely longer. But yeah, they also seem to aggro Jaheira a lot. So for Laezel, she has Skinburster. It's unfortunate she missed, but every time she hits, she gets Force Conduit, which reduces all incoming bludgeoning, piercing, and slashing by the number of turns she has left. She gets 2 turns each time she hits. So we see hitting with that one. We can see that next to her, portrait, the little buffs, there's like a yellow man with a Grim Reaper scythe, maybe? And we can see, each time she hits, it's going up to 2 and 4. It's unfortunate she can't hit more than that, but Action Surge or Bloodlust, Grape Weapon Master, anything, opportunity attacks, anything to get more attacks off is excellent with this. We can see here it's full display of, we're reducing damage with resistance, with the magic plate, with heavy armor master, and with force conduit. So it just is 0. I don't know if that guard rolled low or not, but she is effectively invincible against these guys, so I use her to trigger more opportunity attacks before heading up to deal with the ranger. So that's another one where she takes 0 damage. And the guy rolled a 7 on a d10, so not low rolls. We can see here, even opportunity attacks will give, extra turns of Force Conduit. Just fantastic. It's a really excellent weapon, especially if you can get like 3rd attack from Paladin Warlock or from Fighter. Or just Heavy Armor Master pairs well with it. You get that Skinburster from Act 2 in the Crash. It's also excellent. Here I kind of consider other options, but as long as you aren't a barbarian to get your extra attack, you can still be casting spells each turn. If you're a fighter, you have Action Surge for more spell casting. But overall, I wanted to display mostly the melee stuff, considering you can get torches super early in the game, and Shillelagh is something you can start a level 1 character with. So this build comes online very early. And this is where it'd be great for Halo Spores to work, but I switched helmets with Jaheira, so it doesn't have the arcane acuity, just doesn't quite stick. But that's unlike Jaheira, or unlike Laezel, she doesn't need to be attacking each turn to get her durability up. The Crystal Clear Cleric again. Always healing these guys when I forget she exists. He exists? I don't know who it is. But right now it is just a lot of cleanup. Laezel just thrashes these guys and they can't hurt her. But overall this is just a nice add to a team. Fairly tanky. I like a Regenerator build. I think they're cool. Especially there's a lot of items to support it. But we can see that these people are no slouch when it comes to damage and defensive abilities. Struggle a bit to try and hit the Invisible Cleric, but I'm not exactly sure where she is or how she exists. Luckily, Laezel is able to deal with it. Those black frame cuts are not my video. That was just the inside of this video going crazy. But we can see that Jaheira took a lot of damage during this. She only has the 5 out of 24. But afterwards, without having to use a wild shape charge or a short rest, you can just heal and get the extra 3 temp HP from the Boots of Aiden Comfort. Just pop a bunch of potions here, but you could do good berries or something else like that. Anything that does healing. And now you're back to full with no issue. It's just a fun little build. I like people who can swing swords and cast spells, so it's a good combo. Alright, bye. Stay tuned for more long, quick Teeps.